Hi guys, this is just Brew of the Brew Show. Happy December. I hope it's a happy December for you because we did try.
Yeah.
And you can see someone very funny, very beautiful, very
Hey,
happy.
I'm already funny before talking.
Yes, because Charlie, I had an off-camera convo. It will come. Don't worry, it will come in.
I'm not. I'll try not to be. I don't know if I should try to be filtered or unfiltered, but it will show through. So
Purely unfiltered,
Purely,
as
okay.
raw as possible.
no problem. No problem.
So, guys, meet Baaba Jenkins. Baba, how you
Full
doing?
name, confess name. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, sorry. How would you have wanted to introduce
No,
us?
it's fine. They know. The people know.
And as you can see, I don't know if you can see it fully, but
Okay.
she has a Mercedes cap on, and if she turns to the side, you can see
Hey.
an F1.
F1.
There you go. The hair. So
Yeah.
I'm going to let her tell you why. She's not wearing it because it's fashionable, or it is fashionable, but that's not the main reason why she's
Oh,
wearing it.
not
She's
at all.
wearing it for a purpose.
Okay.
So Baba, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm a passionate Formula One supporter. Actually, I want to say I've been doing this all my life, but I haven't. I watched Drive to Survive. So, guys, if you want to get into it, like if you want to know the basics of Formula One, because you know where we come from, Ghana, people are more into like football. As now, we have some Manchester United supporters. I don't know why they support that team, but good luck to them because they are living in the past. I know a few of them. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to get into Formula One, you can start off there because it seems a bit complicated, but when you get the swing or get into the hang of it, you realize that it's not complicated, it's exciting. It can be exciting, it can be annoying. There's politics, there's strategy, there's drama, there's of course speed. So if you're into cars, this is the sports for you. Anyway, now it's the sports for me. So yeah, what else can I say about it? My friend and I started a Formula One podcast because obviously we are very passionate about it and we love to talk about it. And our friends got tired of us talking too much about it, and they're like, "Can you like find somewhere to channel this passionate energy?" Like, okay. So we started on our phones. Actually, started just discussing races, reviews. And then we started going in person as well. It was nice to go into a sport that's not like very focused on people of color and like trying to meet people of color. So that was our angle, right? We realized coming from Ghana, first off, we already know it's not like a very popular sport. And then just for people of color as well, like just trying to push that diversity angle, hoping for Formula One races in Africa. We all know, well, I want to say we all know, but most people know Lewis Hamilton. He's like the most famous F1 driver. He's won it 7 times, and for like the only person of color to ever even like be in the top echelons, let me say, wow, top echelons of the sport, to totally dominate it as much as he did for years with McLaren, Mercedes. It's amazing. Like, it gives us hope that if we can get more people to get interested in it in the first place, maybe get them some funding, because trust me, that's important. Like, you need about 200k pounds a year to even do karting, right? So I think it keeps people of color out just because of like the threshold you have to reach to even get there in the first place. But our people, when we start dominating the sports, we really dominate. So I mean, Lewis is just an example, right? And I feel like I've been rambling on, but if you give me the floor, I can talk for long.
So definitely Lewis Hamilton is somebody that you are interested in watching, and for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Not only is he great at what he does, but he's also a very recognizable face for not just F1 heads, but sports enthusiasts and
Yeah.
fashion icons.
Fashion. Wow, you know your stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I want to say I'm a purely Lewis fan, but I'm not. My favorite Formula One driver is Charles Leclerc in English, but Charles Leclerc in French. Et je parle français aussi, so let me just slide that in there. I speak French, so if you want to engage me in French, happy to do that. But why do I like Charles? And in fact, why do I even consider this a sport? Because people would ask, this is just a bunch of guys driving around in circles. We can all drive. The fake races that some of you were doing in uni on, what was it called? That 37 stretch, and then N1. Is it N1? F1?
N1.
Yeah. And the N1 stretch, you guys, you are figuring you are some drivers, but no, this is like a super competitive sport. First of all, it's just 20 guys in the whole world that do it. It's also super physical, right? So let me give you an example. If they do a race like Singapore, their track temperatures can be like up to 40 degrees sitting in the car, and you have to go at 300 miles per hour over and over and over again for about 70 laps. And once they are done, they lose like 3 kilograms in one sitting. I mean, help me out. I wish I could lose weight that quickly. Trust me, this dieting I've been on. Anyway, that's a story for another day. but yeah, that's just how physically intensive it is, right? So yeah, they have to train their necks. So anytime you see a Formula One driver, just try it. I don't even think you have to remind yourself. You just see they have a very bulky neck. This is because of the G-forces in the car when they are going into, I'll call it a chicane, but layman term, curves, right? How would I explain the G-force? You know when you're sitting in a car and then someone slams on the brake, how your body is sort of thrown forward. They have to train their body not to react in that way and to hold the balance, the center of the force, you know, to control the car, essentially. So they have really thick necks. Very, very fit human beings in general, unlike some of us. So we live through them as well. Again, rambling, but...
Not rambling.
Yes.
Because this is you being the first point of contact for people who want to know Formula One for my brewers out there. So,
hey, brewers, wow.
Brewers.
Hey, I'm a brewer now.
And then you mentioned you've attended some races in person.
Yes.
I want to assume Silverstone is one of them.
Of course, that's the standard fixture. Like, as soon as we got into it, I think maybe 2 months later, it was time for Silverstone. We were very poor at the time, so we did general admission. And let me just say, it's a bit of an elitist sport, so you have to sort of save towards it, like if I should say. So we have like general admission, so that's for the pobos, common floor members. That's where you go. You don't have a seat, you come prepared. Just if you will sit on the floor, things like that, right? And then you have grandstand, so that one you get seats. And I want to say you also get like a covering, but no, you don't want to. You have to pay higher to get a seat and a covering. So like it goes, and then we have paddock passes. Oh my god, my dream. This is like maybe 5K for a race weekend. You get Michelin star cuisine. You get to meet the drivers. Oh god, when? Anyway, yes. So from afar, we've been able to attend some of their races. This year we did, we being myself and my co-hostess, we did 3 races. So we did Silverstone, we did Zandvoort, which is in the Netherlands, and we did Singapore. Singapore was like a 14-hour journey to go there for 3 days and come back. Trust me, I felt sick when I came back, but it was so worth it. Like to see the cars so close. In Zandvoort, we got to see the drivers, including my favorite driver because he was exiting in his Ferrari. I was like, shout! Yes, anyway, back to being comported. Yeah.
So seeing as you brought Netherlands in, I have to bring him in as well. World champion Max Verstappen, sorry.
Max Verstappen, you know
I
this.
know.
Oh my goodness,
I
yes.
know. And it's what, 2 years in a row?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been very dominant, right?
This year was crazy.
Yeah. This year he was, I mean, I know how to sing the Dutch national anthem. That should tell you something. Like, why do I know this? I hear it in my sleep. Because this guy just back to back, he's winning everything. So this is just a combination of him being one with the car. Because you would want to say maybe the car is just fast, but he has a teammate, Sergio Perez. Oh my god. That guy, it's just a mental thing. That second Red Bull seat is so difficult because Max has been able to champion the car so well. It's difficult for anyone else to even get up to his standard, right? And you just see them mentally crumbling day in and day out. So yes, even though it irks me to say it, he's a wonderful driver. Like, he's amazing. He barely makes mistakes. Everything is working well for him because he has the team, the people around him. Unlike my favorite driver, Charles, Ferrari, please, if you want to get into Formula One, do not, and I repeat, do not support Ferrari. They are like the Arsenal of Formula One. Yes.
I mean, people love Ferrari because of Schumacher then, and
Yes.
him being
It's over.
dominant.
It's
Yeah.
over. That time is over. They are living on past glory like Manchester United fans. I just had to say that. And essentially, they just don't have the team together. It's very Italian heavy. I think diversity will help them a lot. Always, I'm pushing this diversity and inclusion thing, right? Because it would help them a lot. It will bring innovation into the team. Yeah, there's just so much going wrong at Ferrari. Strategy being the least of their problems. They're always sabotaging my guy, so I'm always frustrated. If you listen to the podcast, you will hear it. I'm sorry, but you will.
So, speaking of the podcast, when and how often do you produce content, and then do you get the chance to do backstage interviews as well?
Ooh, great question. So usually during the season we do it every week. Yes, I don't know how we do it. We manage. We have like, I want to even say 9 to 5, but it's definitely more hours than 9 to 5, and we still manage to record every week. We usually do race reviews and we have interviews, so you can check out like our Instagram page. You see some of our pinged interviews with like Mercedes engineers. We've had the team. What's his role? He does a lot. Let me just say, like, he's just a big man in Alfa Romeo. Let me just put it
Like
that
team
way.
principal?
No, but like just slightly below team principal. I'll not be sitting here on that this, yeah. But we get to interview quite a number of people from the teams and different roles, because we also want to sort of open up people's minds the kind of roles involved in Formula One. It's not only like engineering roles, right? They have design, they have like even IT tech sort of things going on, a lot of social media content creation as well. So it's just the ability to show people how broad it can go, and yeah, that's what we are shooting for. So we also try and do on-track interviews when we go to the track, and we are a bit biased there. We go to the people of color because it's just so nice to be there in a sea of white people, and you see your friend, be like, bro, yeah, and then you just ask how they got into it. You would see a lot of people being like Hamilton fans, but we've met like hardcore Verstappen fans as well. Like our last interview was with one of them, and he's like, I drink 4 Red Bulls every day just to support the team. I'm like, wow, must be nice.
Wow.
4.
Challenge. And for I'm going to go off track a little bit. For countries that want to capitalize on the F1 drive, for lack of a better description, so like let's say Ghana all of a sudden wants to get on it and be part of their races, what would you say people should expect from Formula One in terms of revenue, in terms of it being a sporting thing to get behind, in terms of tourism?
That's actually a very good question, right? Because I think if you've heard of it, Las Vegas was just added to the calendar like last year, and they already had 2 other races in the US. So it's like, why are there so many races in the US? So I just want to say there's so much potential in Africa as well. That's something Lewis has been pushing. He's like, he's not going to retire until we get a race here. Fingers crossed. I hope so. We used to have a race in South Africa, but unfortunately there's like politics, there's rumors that there's still like a South Africa Russia thing going, so that contract fell through. We were so close to it last year, and I think it would have pushed like Africa to the forefront when it comes to just racing, because I've come to realize that there's such a huge fan base here. Like, you just randomly meet so many people who travel miles to go where it is available, right? So just to have one in Africa, there's Nigerians. I've met a lot of passionate Nigerians. They are praying and fasting for Lewis Hamilton. Like, that's how deep it is, right? So there are just so many people that would go. But I think a potential problem would be the price point, right? Because trust me, they are going to make sure that if they are organizing it, they would get profits from it. And I've already explained how it goes. Like, the more money you have, the better your experience. So maybe most of us Africans might be in the general admission just because of how expensive it might be. But I don't think the continent lacks the passion to see us fill those stands. And for any country that hosts it, you will best believe there's going to be people from all over the world who are just going to come to watch. Like, we met people from, I don't know, like the US and Singapore. Like, imagine, there's just random countries listening. I think even for our podcast, we've seen people listening to us from Pakistan. That's just how widespread it is, right? We don't know anyone in Pakistan. So, yeah, if we could get a sweet price point, we'll definitely get people coming like it used to be back in South Africa. There's the potential for Morocco, and I think they can sponsor it themselves. They can build their own track. They have the money to do it. I think the problem is getting a team that is conscious enough to put together a track and organization. Like it takes a lot of organization, because when you go for some of these races, you realize they shut down whole towns, they shut down streets from a certain time to a certain time. So you need people to be organized on it, and it's not like our strongest suit here in Africa. So it's something we'd have to work on, but it's definitely something we should be working towards. So I mean, if you guys have money, I'm here. I can organize it for you.
And I'm here too. I can support.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, the last thing I want you to do is to plug your podcast and show everybody how to connect. But how close are we? You've already spoken about diversity, right? And how much more people of color you want to see in Formula One. How close are we to getting female F1 drivers?
Oh my God, that is such a great question, right? I think we still have a long way to go, a very long way to go. And I'll give an example. Just let's say last week or 2 weeks ago, people might know her as Toto Wolff's wife, who is the team principal of Mercedes, but she's an amazing driver in her own right. She was test driver for Williams. She was one of the closest women to even drive on an F1 circuit in years. And she was accused of passing on confidential information to Toto just because she's his wife. It didn't even make sense, right? The rumor started from a tabloid. So it's like listening to the Mirror saying something and being like, oh my God, this is the gospel truth. And the way the FIA handled the situation just showed a lack of respect towards her and what she has achieved and how far she has come as a woman in the world, right?
Yeah.
She was also a team principal in Formula E, if I remember correctly, and took her team to victory. Like, she's good in her own right, irrespective of who she's married to or who she knows. And it just goes to show that women have to still work like 10 times harder, because for her to have even gotten where she got to, she knows what she had to face. And to think that was rubbish because of a tabloid in a matter of what, like in a day, it was huge news. And she had to even fight the fight that this was misogyny. And it's like, we can't even call it what it is, because it's such a white, people say old white male dominated sport, and it still is. Fortunately, I think with Drive to Survive and the boom in the US market, we are seeing more females. But even with that, it's like, justify why you're a fan. Imagine being a football fan and then someone comes like, when did you start watching it? You have to tell me, like, serious gatekeeping just because you're a woman, which is wrong. You should be welcoming like more diversity, more people being interested in something that you love, but that's not what we see, right? So we are still a long way away. And when it comes to female drivers in Formula One, I don't think any woman would want to be one of the 20 just because she's a woman. That is something, she wants to be there because she's good enough and she can beat the guys, right? And for that to happen, we need to create a pipeline all the way from karting, for just, let me explain, right? Out of every 10 boys that kart, let's say one girl would kart. So we need that number of girls even going into it in the first place, so as to get that natural talent to the level of where the boys are, for them to even compete. But we do see like some of them in Formula 4 right now, they're coming up. So I still think it's years to come, and there's this F1 Academy which is centered on females and just prepping them as a pipeline into either Formula 3, Formula 2, and then Formula 1. I don't know if it will work, but we are staying tuned. We are hopeful. I'm always hopeful. I'm here pushing for it. Not that I'm anyone, but I'm trying. So our podcast is Hairpins Straights. So let me actually look for it myself. So on Instagram, it should be hairpins_and_straights. So you see two girls in Ferrari match. Do not be deceived. We are not Ferrari supporters. We are Leclerc fans. And you can find us on, I think, all podcast networks, right? We are part of the GCR podcast network. So you see us on Spotify, you see us on Apple Podcasts, you see us on, I think there's Google Podcasts. There are a lot of them these days. I don't even know half the platforms, but we are everywhere. So follow us. Oh, TikTok, I try. YouTube, I try. So we are everywhere. Just Google Hairpins Straights into brackets Formula 1 or something, will pop up. Yeah. Maybe should I show my look, it's already there. So I don't know how close you can zoom into this.
There you go.
Yes, if you see, that's us. Stunning. You know.
Stunning. Share, follow, subscribe. Bringing you a special season recap with invited guests, listeners of the pod. Happy holidays.
Wow. Ah, you're reading. I was like, how are you?
Yes, Baba, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yes,
It's
me, when you
It's been a pleasure having you here as a brewer.
always.
And I'm going to follow Hairpins Straights.
Thank you.
I'm going to definitely link up with you more.
Yes.
Who knows, I might be at Silverstone with you.
Yes.
Or maybe we should go Monaco.
Oh, Charlie, Monaco, I don't have money.
You don't have money
It's
yet.
great. Yes. That's the key word. Yes, but we shall be. Yes.
Yeah.
It's on my plans. So
Yeah.
I'll take it off.
I fancy Brazil too.
That's an interesting one, though. It's not Mexico, right? Mexico, you need bodyguards. Brazil, not so much. Yeah, not so much.
So guys,